24 years old and named Olivia. How often do you make unnecessary purchases? I'm a total shopaholic, and I desire anything and everything. But look where my passion for shopping has gotten me. Never had to go to work. I got married right after I graduated from college. This is Ethan, my husband. His career progressed so quickly that I made the decision to devote all of my time to creating two beautiful things and a home. But overnight, everything fell apart. My husband received an offer from a big business 2 years ago to work in Dubai. Ethan was overjoyed because the terms were so kind. Given his salary, I was also. He put in a lot of effort, but I was alone. So I enjoyed myself as much as I could. I purchased Chanel and Prada. My closest friends were the neighborhood shops. I occasionally didn't even care what I was purchasing. I merely made purchases out of boredom. Have you ever carried that out? In any case, my exciting journey came to an abrupt end. My husband's employer was embroiled in a scandal on a global scale. Ethan was very anxious because he was ignorant of the alleged fraud, but he acknowledged that a trial might be necessary. I was in fear. We took a flight home 2 weeks later. Although Ethan had been able to maintain his freedom, his reputation had been damaged. Nobody wished to employ him. I had already begun to imagine how we would have to eat from trash cans while being penniless and consuming ramen from a bag for dinner. But unanticipatedly, my husband received an offer to work for a company one day. Only it was in Alaska, which has the lowest average annual temperature in the nation. We had to fly there because we had no other option. It was terribly cold. I peered out the taxi window at the snowy mounds. It was fortunate that the car parked right in our brand new garage, so I could avoid the bitter cold. I was left alone after Kelvin almost immediately left for work. I started by watching a movie and eating some pricey, fresh strawberries. Then, however, I grew bored. I took a walk to the closest store to buy some warm clothes to kill the boredom. Oh, the embarrassment! I started to feel unwell on the way there. I think the frost was what made my skin itch. I started to move past storefronts, but everything they had was terrible. I eventually located a few suitable stores and entered one of them, but I was refused entry by the staff. The entrance was blocked by a vile salesperson who claimed that I couldn't enter. Can you picture it? She presented me with a mirror after I demanded an explanation. I was almost horrified when I caught a glimpse of my reflection. Huge red spots covered my entire face. I was now a monstrous creature. You're likely ill and possibly contagious. You can't come in here, the salesperson yelled. Visit a hospital. I experienced an alienation. Sobbing, I hurried to the hospital and called Ethan. They informed me that it was a strawberry allergy, which I'd consumed an excessive amount of. I received a prescription for medication and was told to stay in bed at home. My husband began to experience strange events. Ethan began working on the weekends in addition to arriving home later and later. When he returns home, he literally collapses from exhaustion. He has to be lying to me. To find out if he went to work or to another woman over the weekend, I made the decision to follow him. On Saturday, Ethan left for work, and I went after him right away. It became immediately obvious that he wasn't going to the office. That jerk! I was aware of it. I was concerned that I might lose sight of Ethan because of the heavy snowfall that had fallen in the street. But at that precise moment, he stopped outside and entered a building nearby that had no writing or signs outside. A few minutes later, my husband reappeared, talking to a woman with red hair as I watched from the window. My blood began to boil as a result of the way she looked at him. I rushed to him after opening the door, but instead of yelling at him, I started to choke. I was immediately taken to the hospital by Ethan. Once more, red spots covered my face. My condition's cause was finally identified after some testing by the doctors. I had allergies, but not to snow or strawberries. Can you picture it? It only took one snowflake to land on my face to startle me. This was a unique, uncommon form of aquagenic itching, possibly the first caused by icy water and frost. Although there are also blisters in some spots, it appears to be hives. When touched, I experience a burning sensation and a lot of itching. Surprisingly, only 5% of the population worldwide has this disease. Well, roughly speaking. Additionally, it is totally incurable. Only a few of the symptoms can be helped by honeybee medications, but the disease will always be with me. Oh, and did I mention that you cannot permit yourself to experience anxiety? Stress only makes it worse. My husband gave me comfort after the doctors had left by saying, "Calm down, she is merely my boss." It turned out that she had given him a crucial deal to handle, which was why he had been working so hard. It used to be a subsidiary, the office. However, the information that Ethan would be receiving a sizable bonus really caught my attention. I was thrilled. I was so desperate to buy new things to take my mind off the stress of my allergy. My joy over the anticipated shopping spree did not last long, at least not in person. Ethan received a strange text one evening while he was in the shower. "Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Stallion, have fun." His boss had sent the text. When I opened his phone, I discovered numerous similar messages. He thought I was an absolute moron and had been cheating on me the entire time. And to catch the lovers in the act, I made the decision to keep quiet for the time being. Even though there was a lot of snow the following day, I was stuck. I completely covered myself before pursuing Ethan. Oddly enough, he went to his workplace. Well, I suppose they did it correctly in the office. I entered and exited one door in silence. Kelvin's voice, groans, and laughter could all be heard. I slammed the door open and almost lost my balance. My husband was actually riding his boss, who was dressed as a stallion. I yelled at them and referred to them as perverts because I found it so repulsive. I ran home after slamming the door. Due to the stress and snow, I'm not even stopping to wrap my face. My entire body had hives all over it. My body felt like it was being burned through by pain. It was so painful. I broke down and made the decision to leave Ethan that night. Ethan came back with a ton of cash. He explained that although he frequently planned those kinds of events for his boss, he had never cheated. Between them, nothing existed. His boss was very generous with his money and enjoyed oddball attire and activities. Ethan didn't like it either, but where could he go to get a job with a salary like that given his reputation? He then showed me videos that also featured other employees, which I found hard to believe. However, I don't want my husband to ride her or for him to permit her to do so. However, he is being compensated handsomely for it. I'm able to purchase pricey items once more and even travel to a warm nation to treat my allergies. I reluctantly consented to let their games go on, but I still feel that it might be inappropriate. How do you feel? What would you allow to occur in exchange for money? Really, I need your opinion. Tell me in the comments section below, please. For access to more fantastic content, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.